Your lips, your touch, your eyes are danger. I can't see the safer side. The dark, the depths, the endless abyss. I'm with you, I fall inside. The night, I fall inside. The night. I fall inside the night. Your lips, your touch, your eyes are danger. I can't see the safer side. The dark, the depths, the endless abyss. I'm with you, I fall inside. I feel like I'm falling within myself. You had me going through all this hell. Always hurt, never heal, bleeding out, no one's here. Your touch, your eyes are danger. I can't see the safer side. The dark, the depths, the endless abyss. I'm with you, I call this Your lips, your touch, your eyes are danger. I can't see the safer side. The dark, the depths, the endless abyss.
Well, here we go. It's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. It's time to get real nerdy. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm ready. Let's do this.
Distant nerding.
Hey! Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is that time. You are now tuned into the build. And he, right there, that is the graveyard.
This low gentleman below me is the one and only Force.
And that hunk of hotness up there is Gunnery Sergeant Sexy.
Gunnery Sergeant, that's Marines. I'm not a Marine. That's just
Okay. That is
Specialist.
Damn it.
Specialist.
I got nothing.
I was
All right.
an NCO, so it's just not. I'm not gonna go out there and say, "Hey, yeah, I was this." No.
I had it all wrapped up. I had it all set. So that is Young Phil.
And this is Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled into the build, and we are ready to go and have a whole crap ton of fun. But before we do all of that, before we get in on all the fun and everything like that, oh wait, Phil just showed up. I know. No, I again remember on the Thursday show, my mixer's all the way on the other side of the room, so I have to go and run over there to go and change music cues and everything. It's great. It's not hard at all. I probably need to get some kind of extension. Either way. Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring on our guest, because I'm very excited about our guest, Graveyard, I'm sure you're super excited, super stoked about our guest.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know it's right up your alley, man. This is definitely a Graveyard level guest right here. But we got to do some housekeeping real quick. Just real quick.
I love Thursday housekeeping.
Yeah, Thursday housekeeping, right? We just got to clean the house a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, this show, this entire channel, everything we do around Distance Nerding is brought to you by Pod Decks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Pod Decks. Pod Decks are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Now, guys, use the code nerding10 to get 10% off your first order. Completely worth it. Completely awesome. Graveyard will tell you all about it because he has it for his new interview show that they're going to be doing. We use it for all of our interviews. Actually, we our guest today, we interviewed back at Metal Art Comic Con, and we had to put something together at the last second. We use pod decks. So, I mean, like, you know, that's essentially what we do. Our backbone for all of our interviews is pod decks. So that's what keeps us going here. I gotta ask you, Force.
Yes.
You know, what is it that keeps young Phil alive? Because young Phil tends to have a crap ton of energy, and we don't know where it comes from. Do you know where he gets all this energy from?
I certainly do. That energy comes from Dubby. That is right. That is right, folks. We're going to give a huge shout out to Dubby because Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, sugars, fillers, artificial colors, or dyes, and it's keto friendly, y'all.
Yeah.
So, what makes Dubby different from other gaming supplements? Well, it's one of the few drinks that contains Neurofactor. It's a nootropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and the 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. So, if you want to find out more about Dubby, you're going to go to dubby.gg. Master? Well, good evening, everyone. You're going to use code NERDING10 for 10% off at your checkout. And when you take Dubby, that 150 milligrams of caffeine is going to energize you to get through your training. It also energizes my perversion. Yeah. So use code NERDING10. Back to you, young fellers.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
It's always good
Welcome.
when we get the drop in from the beautiful bald pervert that lives on Turtle Island.
We could dare say that Dubby is now, as of distance nerding, while distance nerding is concerned, Dubby is now Roshi approved.
There we go.
It's approved. 100% Roshi approved.
Now it's funny because I came home to like get everything ready for the show, and at the last second I realized I still haven't unpacked the Dubby yet, and the Dubby still inside of our Golden State or Gem State Comic Con box. So instead, I am going to be drinking something different tonight.
Water?
I normally don't. I drink water the entire show, but I mean, like, the thing that I'm drinking tonight is something that we've been looking for like the last like month and a half.
Chili cheese beer.
No, and we couldn't find it. And then when we went to Idaho, we found it at a random gas station.
What'd you get?
So what I am drinking here tonight is the one and only Sunny Delight vodka spritzer.
Oh, he's drinking on camera. Let's go.
I haven't drank on camera in a while. I used to actually drink on camera all the time. This is not a isolated incident. I haven't drank on camera in a while. It was a random Chevron. Cam's asking where did I find it. It was just like a random Chevron that we went to. The Sunny Delight that we can't find anywhere that's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive was at a random Chevron in Idaho, but we couldn't find it anywhere in California. It's great. So
I mean, this commercial writes itself in your head, does it not? What do you got to drink? Some Milkshake IPA, some purple stout, or some Sunny D?
Sunny D vodka seltzer.
I was going to say that would make it Sunny V.
Sunny V. What's great about this? I mean, it's only 4.5% alcohol, so I mean, it's not super crazy.
So it's heavier than Bud Light. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's 0 sugar, so I mean, like, and it's low carbs, which is not super bad. So
I get the feeling that next week when I'm there, Fours is going to be the designated driver for everything.
There is a possibility that is a thing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, introductions are to be made right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about the guest that I'm about to bring on right now. Robert Floydman Sumner is the mind and imagination behind Planet F Studios. As a self-trained artist, He got his start in a small press network in the 90s, producing his own comics and magazines, but moved on to creating original sketch cards for Topps and other trading card companies, working on such properties as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, Chrome Legacy, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Sharknado, and Wacky Packages, as well as becoming a fan favorite on numerous Garbage Pail Kids card sets. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the one, the only, the magnificent Floydman Sumner.
Yeah! All right.
There you go.
That sounded pretty good. It sounds like something I would write.
I know, right? It really does sound like something you would write, right? You know, behind the shade. I'm pretty sure he wrote that.
Yeah, I forgot that you had that still. What's up? You guys can hear me okay?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. We can hear you beautifully, man. You can hear us, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. We are completely excited for tonight. You know, we're gonna get into this. We got a whole fun interview set up for you here. And then in the second hour, man, if you haven't watched our shows, we get into the bracket, right? In this week's bracket, we're getting into the best Marvel MCU movies.
Ooh.
Yes.
So get to vote on which movies you think are the best ones to see which comes out on top as the best MCU movie.
I think I've almost seen them all. I don't know. So.
Yeah, and that's fine. If you haven't seen them, then you can always vote for whichever one that you have seen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. At least I'm not like, what's an MCU movie? So.
All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and switch my camera.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right. What bag number are you on there, young Phil?
I'm about to open bag number 9. Bag number 8. Sorry, bag number 8. Out of 11 bags here. Just to kind of give you guys the recap of the recap while we're recapping the recap. This is what we have on the car so far. Oop. Push that up too much. So,
Nice.
couple pieces that haven't been added in yet, but what's cool is on the back side here. I'm actually going to take that off. You can see, so the flux capacitor is already made here.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.
You know, seats and everything in there and whatnot. There is a button in here that I haven't set up yet, but it turns the light turns on so you can see the flux capacitor.
Cool.
Nice.
Looks like one of my old cars after an all-night drinking binge on the pier.
That is great. So let's jump into this, man. Before we get into your story, before we learn all about, you know, Robert Sumner and everything that you do, Floydman.
Oh, call me Floyd.
Before we learn,
Robert Sumner. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time.
right up our alley. I love it. Before we get into the story that is Floydman Sumner, you know, and you may have answered this before when we did the live event, but we're going to do it for the show here. We have a segment on the show called Growing Up Geeky. What did you grow up on? Or well, as a kid, what did you geek out on? Like, what were the things that you were just like, oh, yeah, I'm geeking out on this stuff?
Well, you know, I geeked out, and it made me what I am today, and it was a dream come true. Believe it or not, it was Wacky Packages. When Wacky Packages came out in 73, I mean, I was down there at the drugstore. I saw the brightly colored box on the counter, you know, and it was only a nickel, and I had a quarter, so I could buy 5 packs of, you know, cardboard gum and 3 stickers each pack, and and it was awesome, you know. So the things that I was totally geeking out on was there was Wacky Packages, there was Laurel and Hardy. I love Laurel and Hardy, and gosh, what else did I geek out on? Just TV, man. I mean, this is like a TV idiot, you know. So
Straight up TV nerd.
oh yeah. But you know, it's like I would recite, or I would memorize the TV guide, and so my mom and dad would ask me when a show was on, and I'd just tell them they didn't even have to look. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And kids, for those of you who may be too young to know what a TV guide is,
Yeah.
back in the day, there used to be a book
Yes.
that would tell you what TV shows were going to be on at what time. Those of us who grew up in the 90s, remember TV Guide became a channel. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So this was before
Yeah.
all of you kids now were able to just choose whatever the hell you want to watch.
This was when we had 3 channels, and 4 of them, or 2 of them, showed golf on Sundays, and the other one showed like nature shows. But yeah.
Ours was channel 66.
Ah, yes. No, we had 2, 4, 8, 12, and CBS. So yeah. But yeah, those were the days. So that's when they didn't have marathons. That's when you had to wait the next week to see the next episode. So
Well, syndication wasn't a thing.
exactly. Yep. Yeah. Oh, and cartoons. I grew up Saturday morning cartoons, of course. So
Absolutely. What were your favorite Saturday morning cartoons?
we were always into the Super Friends mainly.
Yes.
Super Friends, definitely. Because it was the 70s back then, not the 80s cartoons, not G.I. Joe and all the cool ones. No, we had Super Friends, Bugs Bunny, and Smurfs, I think was it. So
The original Aquaman.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Where his only power was talking to fish.
Exactly. So yeah.
He has
But he had
more
cool things coming out of his head when he did that. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like the little laser sound.
Right. Oh, we had all the Hanna-Barbera ones too, all the politically correct ones like Charlie Chan and the Chan Clan, and
Oh yeah.
God, Hong Kong Phooey was great. And then, gosh, what else did they have? They had like Scooby-Doo, of course, and all the Scooby-Doo clones like Clue Club and Goober and the Ghost Chasers, and I mean just all of those. So yeah, I guess I geeked out on those too. So.
Ruh-roh.
Yep.
Willow Raggy.
Zoinks!
Like zoink, Scoob.
Hey, Scoob! Yeah. So yeah, anything that had Casey Kasem doing voices in it was.
God, Casey Kasem, man, just the stuff that he did. Who else is on my head right now? Another prolific voice actor from back in that time. He did Yogi Bear.
Oh, Dawes Butler.
Dawes Butler. Dawes Butler did everything.
Yeah, it was pretty much Dawes Butler, Mel Blanc, and Casey Kasem, I guess.
Right.
Michael Bell was also one. And here's an interesting piece of trivia. Have you guys ever seen Kiss and the Phantom of the Park?
Yes, I have actually.
I'm sorry about that, but
You heard me laughing when I said yes.
yeah. But here's the thing. It was Peter Criss. So Peter Criss, he was like not into making the movie at all and didn't want to do it. And they were terrible actors. And I think he was drunk half the time. So they actually dubbed his voice with Michael Bell on the movie.
Really?
So anytime Peter Criss talks during that movie, it's more likely going to be Michael Bell, who was the voice of Peter Criss. So. Yeah. Bet you guys didn't know that, huh?
I did actually.
I'm full of useless knowledge, so
And that's
what
why
anything about the 70s, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's why you fit in so well with us.
Exactly.
You guys that know nothing about nothing, everything about nothing.
Yeah. I pretty much all my knowledge stops about 1984, the year that music got bad. But other than that, anything before that, yeah, definitely. So.
Well, you're not a fan of new wave?
New wave was good, but I think Madonna ruined music for everybody. But that's just my own personal opinion. So. But I remember seeing her on American Bandstand on ABC at 11:30 Saturday morning, and I thought, oh my God, this will never fly. Boy, was I wrong. So
Yeah, completely wrong. I don't think anybody. I mean, has anybody in the history of selling sex sold sex the way that she sells sex?
no, not really. I don't know.
She was definitely one of the first.
Yeah, that's true.
But
well, we had, I mean,
she-
you could say Mae West or, but that's going way back.
But she did model her image after Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I don't know if that was like an intentional thing, but she
Yeah.
was definitely coming off as like the 80s Marilyn Monroe,
Right.
if there ever was one.
Well, yeah. And then I think 90s Marilyn Monroe was probably Anna Nicole Smith, I would say. But
Yeah.
was that 90s or 2000s? I can't remember. I'm just now entering 1992, so I don't know what's coming up. So, but yeah, no, it's just it's so weird because it's like what, like 40 years ago or something. Wait, and 80, 90, 2000.
Dude,
Yeah.
I still feel like the 80s was only 20 years ago.
I know exactly, and I lived through it, and it's like, it was all when okay, so like I graduated in '84, and so it was all yuppies was the big thing, and Reagan, and that was about it, and so it's just crazy to think, that it was so long ago, because like in the 80s, it was 40 years ago, and people are still listening to 80s music now. So in the 80s, nobody was like going out of their way to buy records from the 40s, so it's just kind of weird how that works. So
Yeah, because like 80s music is like comfort music for me at this point.
right.
Oh, absolutely. Most of the bands I listened to started in the 80s. So
Yeah, exactly. So I listen to all that music over and over still, I don't think I bought a new album an LP. It was a round thing that made out of vinyl.
You know what? Funny enough, you make that joke, but this last year, or like this, 2022 was the first year in a long time that LP records outsold CDs.
That's
it was like the
crazy.
first time in like 40 years.
Right. Because I remember when CDs first came out, and it's like, oh, cool. I just wanted one just because it was shiny and you could hold it up to the light and see different colors, It was like,
Right.
It was like a legal drug. I don't know. But, but yeah, it's, and just, so I haven't bought any new music. Of course, now it's all streaming, but there hasn't really been too much that's been like, oh my God, that's incredible,
Right.
So we got anybody in the comments yet? No.
yeah, we have Cam in the chat here.
Yeah, Cam.
But yeah, that's what ready, Phil. You ready to get into about him?
Yeah, let's
do it.
Go ahead and get into it, man.
All right. So quick question. Getting to know you. How long have you been working as an artist?
Well, working like without a real job.
I guess that would be, yeah, that would be the question.
It is a real job, but it's a good job. It's the best job in the world. Probably, gosh, how long has it been now? Only about 5 years, I think.
Oh, so you've only gone full time as an artist for the last 5 years?
Right. Because I had a job at Sears, and what's happened to Sears.
I was gonna say Sears. Explain to us what Sears is.
Okay.
What is Sears Roebuck? What is it? What is a department store?
A long time ago, they had great monolithic buildings where you could buy products inside of them, and you could touch them and take them home. Yeah. So Sears was one of those.
You mean not Amazon hasn't been around since forever?
exactly. No. In the
So
dark times before Amazon. Yes. This is like the Battlestar Galactica.
That's exactly what I'm getting
There
ready.
are those who believe that life out here began out there. No, they yeah, so I was working at Sears. I can't really say I was working there because I didn't do shit, but oh, can I say that? But they kept me on because I did announcements, and the announcements used to crack everybody up, you know. I mean, I started doing them on like a Black Friday, you know, and stuff, and so I'd be like, attention Sears shoppers and Shop Your Way members, and you know, I'd just go off and do these weird, you know, I'd be like, oh, it's our 25th anniversary sale. Tell your friends, your family, even that creepy guy that watches you leave for work every morning. So they didn't really like that one, but
I would have been cracking up the whole time.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
amazing.
So it was great when they got Star Wars shirts in the kids section, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I got to do a Star Wars one. So I'm like, and I'm like, attention, Sears shoppers, you know, go to the boys department and get a new Star Wars shirt, you know. And so I did my Darth Vader, and then and so they came in and they're like, dude, don't do that again. And I'm like, why? And they say you scared the crap out of some old lady out there. I'm like, was it my Darth Vader? And they're like, no, it was your Jar Jar Binks that you did at the end. Because I was like, Misa want a Star Wars shirt. You know? And it scared the hell out of her. So no, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so they closed down, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I can't get a job this good anymore. So it's gonna be sink or swim. And you know, I live and breathe art. You know, I am a pure entity of creativity, and that's what I got to do. And so, luckily, yeah, you know, it's worked out pretty good for me so far. So,
Well, Cam wants to know: was that your manager with you at Gem State Comic Con?
no, that is my roadie. That is Steve, and he's awesome, and he's saved my ass so many times. He's also my roommate, and he's upstairs if you want to say hi. But yeah, see, I started, well, the very first show I did, the very first con I did, it was before they were cons, you know. This was the Portland comic book show, and it was at the Memorial Coliseum in the basement, you know, in Portland. And it was awesome because it was like, you could buy like bootleg VHSs and all this other stuff, you know. They just had random kind of people selling posters and stuff, and maybe one or two like real artist guests. And that's where I first met Mike Grell. And Mike's awesome. I love Mike. He's so cool. You guys know who Mike Grell is. Come on. Say it.
Forrest, do you know?
Say it. Okay. Mike Grell. Okay, so here's my gods of comic art. Okay. First off, Neil Adams,
Okay.
which I got to meet. I got to meet Neil Adams about 3 times, talk to him. It was awesome. And I miss him terribly. His son Joel is also awesome. He's a good friend of mine. He does King of the Hill. He did the art for King of the Hill.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's just really cool, and he does some incredible art of his own too. Mike Grell is my other god of art. When I grew up, and see, I wasn't like one of those. There's a lot of guys my age, you know, who are like, oh yeah, Marvel in the 60s. I used to get Spider-Man and everything. No, I didn't know about comics really. I only knew about comics when I got sick. Because when I got sick, my mom would go to the store and she'd get a comic and give me.
Mhm.
And so, but it wasn't like cool like Spider-Man and Superman and stuff. No, it was like Adam 12 and Casper and you know
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich and and so which I have a whole collection. You guys probably don't even know what Adam 12 is, but I have a whole collection now with a double cover even on one. But so I would get those kind of comics. I think the first comic book that I bought myself, it was celebrating the bicentennial, 1976. And we would go on our way to the 4th of July parade in Hillsborough, my hometown. And we stopped at a store and I saw Superman number 301 with Solomon Grundy and that cover, man. And I'm just like, oh man, I got to get that. So I bought that and boom, that was it. You know,
Solomon Grundy, born on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
it's like the Crash Test Dummy song. Yeah. Superman never made any money, saving the world from Solomon Grundy. Yeah. So after that though, I was hooked, you know, and we used to go every Saturday was our comic buying day. Hook up with my friends and we'd go downtown. We'd hit like the drugstore first because they had like all the new comics. And then we'd go to like the pharmacy. And the pharmacy we'd always get kicked out of because the lady would say, "This is in the library, get out of here." and so then we go to the used bookstore because they had all the cheap comics because they had all the ones that people would turn in, you know. And that's where I bought most of my Conan collection for like, you know, 25 cents, 50 cents a comic, you know.
OG Conan the Barbarian, man. I those books are still awesome to me.
Yeah. So Mike Grell, anyway, back to Mike Grell. Mike Grell created the Warlord.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he did Green Arrow Longbow Hunters, you know, and all those. So now I totally forgot. So back in the day, this Portland comic book show, I met Mike Grell there, and I'm just like, oh my God. And he did me a free Green Arrow pencil sketch. And I'm just like, I've got it around here somewhere, but I'm just like, that's awesome. And then like he gave me like his phone number and his address, and I thought, well, that's either kind of creepy or I don't know what to do with it, you know. So I didn't do anything with it. But then I saw him.
Made a mistake. You gave me your phone number.
Yeah, exactly. No, he really took a shine to me, I guess. I don't know, but hopefully not in that way. But no, he's awesome. And so I met him at the next one or another one that he came to because he lived up in Seattle at the time, I guess. Okay. And so the next time, you know, and I would just sit behind his table with him, you know, and we just chat and hang out. It wasn't like Comic Cons today where you can just, you know, pull up a chair right next to the artist and, you know, hang out. So the next one I said, you know, Mike, I got a great idea. And he's like, what's that? And I said, wouldn't it be cool to do a comic book of stick figures drawn by comic artists? Only they'd be stick figures. And he actually drew me like a stick figure with like a Batman head. And it was awesome. And I wish I knew what happened to that.
I was going to say, that's actually pretty genius, man.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you know, hey. So, because everybody says, you know, when they see my art or whatever, they say, I can't even draw a stick figure. And I'm like, well, I can't either. I keep adding to it, you know. So, but yeah, so Portland Comic Book Show, that was my first show. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Tables were like maybe $25, $35. And so I thought, well, I'm going to get a table because I can draw something. And it was just me and a sketch pad. And that's what I did. And so I have all these people say, can you draw this? Can you draw that? So by the end of the show, I had this whole line at my table, people waiting for me to finish their sketches. And I'm drawing like crazy, you know, and stuff. So, but there's this one kind of guy that was not all there. And every show that I set up, because I set up after that too, he would come up to me and he wore like a big puffy coat, you know, and stuff. And he'd always want me to draw his coworkers as coyotes. I'm like, okay.
All right.
I'm like,
draw whatever you want, dude. Whatever, man.
yeah, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this in the break room," and that's how he talked to me. I'm never gonna love it. Just like, okay, whatever, man. You got money? Yeah, I'll take it. So, like the last one that I did, I was all ready for him too, because by that time I figured out, oh, I can make prints and I can sell prints and not have to draw all day. So I was doing that, and as I made a price list, and then at the bottom I said, "Please, no coyotes." I was just waiting for him to come up, and he didn't show up, and I'm like,
Oh,
man. So, but yeah, those
would have
were
been a good gag, man. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
guy didn't show up.
yeah, exactly. Because I would have been, he would have been, good job. Go work as a coyote.
What do you mean you can't draw a coyote?
Nope. So
You've drawn me coyotes in the past.
I know. Yes, well, that was a time of my life I'm not particularly proud of. So,
All right, so I see your post behind you. I remember going to our local pharmacy and seeing Garbage Pail Kids. What is your origin story of Garbage Pail Kids for you?
my origin story.
Yeah.
Okay, so it actually wasn't too long ago because again, I was a wacky package guy, also from Tops, and so flash forward to 2017. Because when Garbage Pail Kids came out in like '84, I think it was, I was just getting out of school, so I was chasing girls and stuff like that. I didn't have time for those silly cards. But then so I get, everybody's like, "Oh, you should draw Garbage Pail Kids. Your art would fit really good with it and everything." And so I have to give the credit mainly to Dustin Graham, who's just an awesome guy. He does a lot of stuff for like Santa Cruz skateboards and stuff like that, and he also did Garbage Pail Kids. And he says, "Dude, post your stuff on the Garbage Pail Kids forums on Facebook." And I'm like, "Okay," and I did. And then everybody's like, "Dude, get in touch with Tops, contact Tops," but nobody would give me a Tops address to get in touch with. It was kind of the secret thing,
Mm-hmm.
So I figured out who the art director was, and I went straight to his website and contacted him directly and sent some wacky package samples because that's what I wanted to draw was wacky packages. And next thing I know, I get an email back saying, "Hey, do you want to be doing sketch cards for Wacky Package 50th anniversary?" Which is a dream come true because I'm a wacky guy,
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. So that was my first set for Tops, and then Garbage Pail Kids kind of came along with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I didn't know a whole lot about them. I knew a little bit about them. I didn't know it was such a big thing, and that people were so nuts over collecting them and everything, and which is awesome. And so then they had a Garbage Pail Kids set, I think that year too, 2017. And I'm like, well, how do I do this? And I just, it's basically they kind of just pay us to copy art. So it's kind of like it has to be a legal forger, I guess. But and that's exactly what I did. I copied it like line for line, but as the invites came in after that, I learned, oh no, you can put your own spin on things, and kind of make it your own style. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. And so gosh, I've done a lot of sets now, and I can appreciate them now after drawing just about all of them. It's like, okay, this is all right. I like it. So
Well,
yeah.
I gotta ask because I am a fan of bad movies. So, Garbage Pail Kids, the movie. What did you think of it?
Oh, did I think of it? I try not to think of it. Well, Mackenzie Austin should have gotten an Emmy or an Oscar just for being in it. Anthony Newley was in it too. So that was impressive. That was the most impressive thing about it. But it's like, what are they thinking? the whole like, let's turn it into a story about the fashion industry, really.
Mhm.
It's like, what the hell? This is not where it should be going, and so it was bad, and I only saw it for the first time about 4 years ago, I think, and that's because it was on like Sci-Fi Channel or something.
Mhm.
Comet, I think Comet was showing it, but
Where bad movies get to go hang out.
exactly. So yeah, it was, I didn't even think it was so good. It was, or so bad it was good.
It's just bad.
It was, but the one thing I do respect about it is, it was made in the '80s, and boy, if there was ever a movie that captured the '80s like Garbage Pail Kids, I haven't seen it, because that is
Yes.
totally like the fashions, the everything. It's so '80s.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's not, it's not on my top 10. So
I mean, hey, Geek Saga loves it with me, so I'm good with that.
well, yeah, I mean, everybody has their own thing.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to you. What would you say is your fondest memory of a project you've been part of is?
Well, probably doing I've done the last 3 covers for 3 or 4 for Green Jelly.
Ooh.
The album covers. So that was really awesome when I got to do the Garage Band Kids, and I did it like a Garbage Pail Kids cover. I would show you a copy, but I never got my comp copy. So. But yeah, and I'm working on the 4th one right now. So for them. So.
Oh, I love them. They were the soundtrack to Maximum Carnage video game. I mean, they were perfect for it.
Yeah, so it's been really awesome working with them, and just I mean, yeah, just a lot of stuff. Just tops and also Mystery Science Theater cards were a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, there's so many more that I've been on that I probably can't even remember. I did a Boglin set recently for Dynamite, and I'm working on the Red Sonja 50th anniversary cards for them.
Oh wow!
So it's kind of cool. I never thought I could put Dynamite on my resume. So they won't give me a comic, but let me do sketch cards. I'll take it.
Okay. What do you think the hardest part is when it comes to the creative process? Do you think there's a hard part, or kind of?
Yeah, kind of like when you're creating stuff, right? Like when you're coming up with a concept or a new character or something. Like what's the hardest part of that?
I don't know, because my mind's always running. So there's so much in there that I mean, it kind of flows out, but it's kind of the setup, I guess. So like if somebody, because like I've got a heavy metal sketch cover I've got to do, and oh my god, he wants Power Girl, Red Sonja, She-Hulk, Vampirella. I know there's a couple other ones, and the Ghost Librarian from Ghostbusters.
It's funny because you said a heavy metal cover, and my mind didn't go to like heavy metal music. My mind went to heavy metal, like the movie.
The movie,
yeah. They have blanks on their. I have a whole stack of blanks, Heavy Metal magazine. So it's like, how do I lay that one out? And so that's why it's kind of on the back burner, but I need to get to it. So. But yeah, it's just trying to set up and try to fit everything, I think. Because when I draw, I'll cut people off, on the page, because I start drawing them too big, which is weird because I do sketch cards, which are 3.5 by 2.5 inch. So you'd think I could draw them small, but I think if I get bigger pages or bigger paper, it's like, oh yeah, I just go nuts, So it's just trying to fit everybody in and make it look, because I try to do like action, it's like you go through Artist Alley nowadays in cons, and everybody's just got like the pose, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to show movement. I want to show action, So it's like because I just happen to have something ready here. Because these were the Mad Mike Garbage Pail Kid prints that I have. That actually I'm almost sold out because of Gem State. But I got this request to do something. It's
There you go. Yeah.
So so I was like, how do I fit all this in there? And I did, and so it's got like a few Garbage Pail Kids and even Adam Goldberg is in it. So yeah, so it's just I want like a cartoon, on paper is what I want, and a lot of people don't do that. A lot of artists are just like fan art. And I'm like, no, you got to tell a story,
Right.
have something that people are it's going to catch people's attention. And that's what I try to do because I'm an attention whore. But
I mean, I noticed that about a lot of the art that you already had at Gem State was like a lot of it was like a lot of like storytelling, and I actually really appreciated that about seeing your artwork.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. That's because that's what I try to do. I mean, I do have stagnant pieces, like all my trading cards, of like my caricatures and stuff. They're, it's the people, but they're still kind of doing something, like the ET one. He's playing ET, the video game, and everything.
Yeah.
So
the game that ruined video games for everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? It didn't ruin my system yet. I have it.
Yeah, I've got like a new obsession now though, and that's Atari. Because when I was a kid, I wanted an Atari so bad, and I cried and whined for 3 years every Christmas, and I finally got one. Which was surprising because back then, they were like $150, which is a lot of money, which is probably about $400 now in today's money.
You'll appreciate this, Lloyd.
Oh yeah, there you go.
This is what we built before I started the.
Is that the Lego one?
Yeah,
the Lego one.
Awesome.
If you pull up the front right there, it's got the scene.
Awesome. Oh my god, that is so cool. I love it. Yeah, so it's like I got rid of I don't know what happened to my original Atari, but when I moved from Portland, I had to I had the ColecoVision set up.
Yes.
I had the turbo steering wheel. I had the Atari adapter. I had tons of games, Atari and Coleco, and I even had like a stand that they went on. And I sold it way too cheap because I had to kind of downsize, and I regret it. But so I've been getting into Atari again. So the first thing I got is actually this here. It's like
I had a ColecoVision as a kid, man. So I know.
ColecoVision was awesome. So.
Yeah.
So I got the first game, Combat. In an acrylic case, of course.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I got on eBay and I did like so I got a bunch of manuals and stuff. So I made like my little game manuals folder, and it's just got like the catalogs and everything. So manuals.
I can tell you, as a person that has every video game system, I love the old systems too. I really do.
Yeah, because that's what I grew up on. I don't think I had a Nintendo. I had Genesis. The Genesis rocks. I
had the Genesis. I had so my older brother had the NES. The Genesis was the last system I got before PlayStation years later, because of course couldn't get an SNES, couldn't get an N64. My brother, my younger brother, who lived with my dad, had the N64. Usually like friends had the GameCube or had something like that, so we would go to like somebody's house and go play whatever systems, because back then, nobody could afford to have every system.
Yeah. I had a Turbo Graphics though, which was kind of fun. So there's a game on there, Moon Madness, I think it was called. Just an awesome game. It was kind of a, oh god, what do they call those? It has the hexagons. It's like a stage game, and you have tanks and stuff, and you battle, and it was really awesome. But
yeah.
Then I had like a Sega Game Gear, And
Oh, I had the Game Gear. Okay, so I do remember that. I had the Game Gear.
yeah, Game Gear was awesome, except like you could only play for like an hour before the battery died.
Right.
But
Yes.
yeah, so it's just so crazy how far it's come now, you know. And so like new systems, I think the last one I had was like PlayStation 2, you know, that was it. So I don't do, you know, I don't do MMOs or anything like that, you know, because I get my ass kicked. My son though is like just crazy addicted to all those. So
Yeah, both me and Graveyard play Destiny now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So let's get back to you a little bit more. So what would you
let's talk about me. Okay.
You talked about the stick figures, right, with Mike Grill. Is there any other best advice or guidance that you received that in your journey into what you do now?
That's hard to say. From like artists, you mean?
Anyone, yeah. Artist, anyone, yeah.
yeah, anybody who's ever given you like a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Get a real job. I don't know. I can't think of any really. Because see, I like to. If I wasn't doing what I do, and if I didn't, spend my life not doing what I do for other people, in other jobs, then there's two things that I'd probably be an art teacher or an art therapist, because I really believe in art therapy. And so it's like I'm the one usually giving advice to younger artists and stuff, my Padawans, and so I can't think of anyone that's actually said, Floyd, you need to do this or this or this, in terms of art, because I kind of play by my own rules. One of my friends though, he's more technical than I am, because he does pre-press for printing.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I do something like on phone, because I'm so technically inept when it comes to that kind of thing, I just like working with Photoshop. I want it to make it look pretty, and that's what I do. But then he comes along, looks at it going, my God, how did you do that? And why did you do that? No, you should have done this, should have done that. I'm like, but it looks pretty. So yeah, it's really hard to. That's a tough question. I don't know.
And that's what we do here. We ask the hard
Yes.
That is a hard question, because I'm so used to dishing out, advice and stuff, that I can't think of anyone that's, kind of just sat me on their knee and said, "Now, Floyd." Yeah. So.
Well,
I don't know if I have an answer. I don't think I have an answer for that.
That's
one.
okay.
Okay, and sometimes you're not going to. It's fine.
Okay. Do I have to have help? I'll make that. Yes.
So I know we talked a little bit Garbage Pail Kids, and like I said, I love bad movies. Is there a draw for you to some of these projects? Because Sharknado is notoriously bad. MST3K shows really bad movies.
Oh, yeah.
I love all this stuff too, to no end. Is there a draw for you towards that?
Oh yeah, totally. I also worked on the Manos set too.
Oh, that is great. You know why we say that's great? Because we interviewed Jackie Naaman Jones on the show.
She is so awesome. I love her.
Yes.
No,
she is fantastic.
Awesome. I have. I thought I had something around here, but I don't. Yeah, Sharknado. Though all of those sets are from R.R. Parks, Richard Parks, and I'll do any card set that he wants me to, because he is so awesome to work for. He pays well, better than Tops, and he pays immediately. When he gets the cards, and it's like he treats his artists like they should be treated, not like a kind of an assembly line. So. Yeah, Sharknado. I'd never seen Sharknado when I said I'll do the cards, but when I found out that Gilbert Gottfried was in it, I got to do a Gilbert Gottfried card. So I'm like, I'm in.
Nice.
So yeah, just stuff like that, and like I just finished a dragons set for Ingrid Hardy, and it's like I don't draw a lot of dragons, but they turned out all right. So it's tough on some of them because like I'm on like my third Ultraman set, I think, and I it's tough to draw. I mean, it really is. You see all these great artists that do like paintings, and I can't paint on card, but they do like realistic portraits of, they got the helmets on and everything. So I'm just doing all the kaiju, all the monsters,
Nice.
and it's fun, it is fun, but it's like, God, how do I do those big rubber monsters on this little card, and so, but I manage, so.
And it's like in the end, that's kind of what it's about, right? Is having fun with what you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's what I do every day. I mean, every day I have fun, and I consider myself really lucky because I mean, without the fans, I can't do what I do. So I appreciate all of them, and especially when they commission me and say, "Okay, I want this character, but you go crazy with it. Do what you want," and so that's kind of dangerous sometimes, but but it's when I have the most fun. So,
well, you're talking about you're drawing the dragons and the kaiju. Would you say they're the most difficult characters you've had to draw, or is there something more difficult that comes to mind for you?
women.
Women.
That's always been my kind of my Achilles heel, I guess. They torment me in real life and they torment me in my artistic life. I don't think I'm a good like pinup artist. Other people would disagree, but you see awesome artists like Olivia and Lorenzo, whatever his last name is, I can't remember. Sorry, Lorenzo. And all these great pinup artists and stuff. I can't do that. It's like, because it's really weird because when you draw like male superheroes, they're doing stuff, and you can draw their muscles and they're punching and stuff. Women, it's like it's like Joe Cocker. I never know what to do with their hands, So
What do I do with these hands?
yeah, so I never know how to pose them right so they look right,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, what do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands?
But yeah, so that's the hardest thing for me to draw. Faces, women faces, no problem. But you get into the body and yeah, there's a problem.
Well, keeping in line with the stuff that you're drawing characters, we know it's like pulling teeth or picking your favorite kid. Mine's number 2. What character do you enjoy working with the most, or on the most?
Like Garbage Pail Kids, or just
any character. Do you have something that you just constantly go back to and draw different situations, or?
In Garbage Pail Kids, my favorite character to draw is Dead Ted. And I just did a sketch card I just sent off to Israel, of all places, of Dead Ted. And in real life, it's like the thing about Garbage Pail Kids, everybody wants an atom bomb. Everybody.
Yeah.
And so, I have drawn atom bombs so many times.
When we met you, you were literally sketching out an atom bomb on like while we were interviewing you, like literally on stage. You were drawing an atom bomb.
Oh, that's right. That's right. In Grants Pass, yeah. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, that kind of is the poster child for Garbage Pail Kids,
Right.
So that's the most identifiable one. But again, it's like, when I first started drawing Atom Bomb, I drew him exactly like how John Pound did him in the original first series. But now, I just happen to have my other latest print. So I thought, I want to do Atom Bomb just because, like, if your head's blowing up, you aren't sitting there with a smile on your face. So that was my latest one. So, and
Wow.
that's how I draw Atom Bomb now. So,
Like his entire face is exploding in pain.
yeah,
Look at that.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
the best one I did was it was on one of the sets, and we had a triptych, and triptych is a card that folds out 3 ways. You know? So you draw across all 3 cards, and God, the deadline was so tight on that set too, and I had like a weekend to do something like 80 cards or something. So, and some commissions, and so what I did was, I think I started on Friday, and I put every Pink Floyd album on chronologically, and was drawing during all of them, you know. So by Sunday, you know, I finished all these 80 cards, and my brain was just mush. And I think, you know, we were on by that time we were up to Division Bell or whatever, and so I, you know, this friend of mine, James, he commissioned me to do this triptych of Atom Bomb. And I just went nuts. I mean, his both eyes were flying out and brains everywhere. And I mean, it was like the best card I've ever drawn. And I'm like, okay, from now on, that's my Atom Bomb. But,
And
yeah.
Geek Guy saying that is awesome, and I completely agree. I love that artwork.
Thank you. Yeah, because it's like, you know, when I first started drawing, it's like I wanted to be Neil Adams, you know, so and I wanted to draw comics like Neil Adams, you know, like everybody. And then the further along I got, and I did my own comics in the 90s, you know, just little small press stuff. And then I started discovering other influences. I started, you know, the whole Ratfink, Ed Roth, and Mad Magazine started like pushing in there, and Jack Davis, and you know, it was a whole mix of, you know, Dirty Donnie and you know, but then here comes Bernie Wrightson, and here comes John Byrne, and you know, so it's like they're all in there, you know, and I'm like, which way do I go, guys? You know, I mean, I can airbrush. Should I airbrush skateboards for a living? Should I paint? You know, oh, you do need a distance nerdiness garbage pail kid.
Yes.
They need to.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Should I? And so I didn't know which way to go, you know, because like, well, comics is a lot of work, you know.
Right.
And but I figured out, what do I enjoy drawing the most, and that's where I'm at now. This is what I enjoy drawing the most, because it's just so fun, you know.
Right.
And there's pictures, there's drawings that I'll crack myself up while I'm drawing it, you know. and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome, you know, and I'm like laughing, and you know, it's just, yeah, it's a good thing I'm stuck here in the art dungeon, you know. So
Just the thought of that though, like us as garbage pail kids would be amazing.
it's doable. It's definitely doable.
By the way, I already have a garbage pail kid name that was given to me from another channel, and it's Depraved Gourd.
Yeah. Yeah, James is mentioning the book. Which I might have here.
So hold on. So the Brave Gourd, is that where that YouTube name comes from?
Yeah, I got it from Tommy Bechtel.
Oh, Tommy Bechtel gave you that name? Okay.
Yeah.
Back here a sec.
I asked him for one time on the show. It's like Depraved Gourd. I'm like, perfect.
That's pretty funny.
Where my copy is. But yeah, there's a book, and it's right here. Maybe. Yes. Right by my combat cartridge. Everything's within close distance. That's good. So yeah, this was another project that I was really excited to be on. And because I got licensed as an official Ed Roth Ratfink artist, which is awesome. And so I also got invited to be in this Electric Frankenstein book. And this book is awesome, because what they did was, Electric Frankenstein, if you aren't familiar with them, they're a punk band. And so they contacted like some of the best rock poster artists, comic artists, and everything to illustrate their lyrics. And I'm based out of Salem, Oregon, James. And so yeah, so it's just, I mean, the art in this is just incredible, and it was so much fun, and they asked me to do it, and I'm just like, hell yeah. So let's see if I can turn mine here. But yeah, it's and also it's a lot of the artists that I inspire me,
Mhm.
So it was just kind of an honor to be a part of this. I didn't get paid though, but that's okay because I wanted to do it. So
Right.
yeah, so I did something weird story, and I did like an old EC. So that's my Crypt Keeper is Uncle Punky. So, but it was yeah, it's an awesome book. So, and then that's the other page.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with it, but I wanted to do it in black and white, and they said no, color it, and so I kind of over photoshopped it, but technically wrong, but but it turned out. So.
Yes, James. We did talk about the con in Oregon. James,
No,
as always.
We haven't talked about the con in Oregon yet. There's a specific Comic-Con that we'll be doing, but I was gonna wait until we got to the pluggables to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
What else we got? But yeah, James, I am based out of Salem, Oregon, and yes, the old school EC. A lot of people did the EC kind of look to that book, and it's just really awesome. So yeah, I don't know what happened to my mouse. Ooh. That's weird. My mouse just kind of vanished. How does that happen? It was right here. That's weird.
Just gone.
It's a poltergeist. All right. Anyway, I don't need a mouse because I'm here. So
there you go.
Oh, good man. So we're gonna start moving into some wrap up questions here. So because we're gonna jump into this bracket. But I gotta ask you the hard hitting questions, man. Gotta ask you the most difficult questions that are out there, right?
Oh.
Your favorite kind of taco? What kind of taco is it?
Shrimp.
Ooh. Shrimp tacos.
Actually, Taco Bell, like long time ago, had BLT tacos. And oh my God, they were like, I was down there like every day, twice a day, getting those things.
For the BLT tacos.
Yeah. Taco Time has like a BLT burrito, but it doesn't work because you put it in a burrito and the lettuce gets hot and nasty.
They're soggy at that point.
Yeah, so it just doesn't work. But
yeah. So we kind of asked you the opposite of this earlier, but I'm gonna ask this at this point now. Okay. What's some advice you might have for anybody trying to get into the industry? Like what's something that you would recommend avoiding?
Advice for somebody trying to get into the industry.
Yeah.
Run, Luke, run. I would say do your own thing. Don't follow the trends. Just do your own style, make your own style, and just keep at it, because dreams do come true. So.
Oh, it's so Disney-fied.
I know. I was like, oh, yes. I'll do a good witch or a bad one. Yeah. So no, it's just do your thing, man. I mean, live the life. Follow your dreams. Don't follow other people's dreams. Is my main thing. So
I love that. That's actually that's good. It's good advice.
Yeah.
Adam Bomb and Bruised Bruce walk into a room. Who leaves like the survivor?
They walk into a room and who leaves the survivor?
Yeah, like who survives?
Two men enter, one man leave.
Like, that's exactly it. Like two men enter, one leave.
Thunderdome.
It's Thunderdome for sure. Between Adam Bomb and Bruce, who wins in a fight?
Yeah. It depends on who else is in the room when they walk in.
Okay. Let's say it's just the two of them.
Yeah. But there might be somebody in there that kicks their ass. Actually, I think neither one of them. Because if Adam Bomb walks in and he has not pushed the button yet, and it's a small room, that's gonna get both of them. So
Okay. So what's next for you, man? Let's. I know you got this big con in Salem coming up. So give us kind of like what are your next steps? What are the things that you're getting ready, gearing up for right now?
Before the con, or
everything, man. Just kind of like leading up to the con itself. Any appearances that you're gonna have?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be at Radar Toys for Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May. And then Powerhouse Comic Con in Pleasanton, California.
Which will be at as well.
Yeah. Oh, also, that's really cool. And that's the 14th, I think, of May. Middle of May. In between that, I'll be probably on the corner of 5th and Main with a cardboard sign. And because I'll need rent money.
That's very important to you.
And then, it's going to be a great year because, and then there's the con that we're going to talk about real quick here. After that, I've got the Rose City Roundup car show in Portland. I've got the Reno show, Silver Age show in Reno. And then Rustorama, which is my favorite party of the year here in Salem, car show. And then the Emerald City Shakedown a week after that, end of July. And then the Halloween Swamp Meet at Oaks Park in September. And Meadowlark in October, I believe. So, yeah. So that's my schedule so far. I'm trying to get to Washington Summer Con, which just happens to fall on my birthday weekend in June.
Nice.
However, after all my expenses and paying bills and stuff from all this money that I made last weekend, I was hoping to get a ticket or get a table, and I got to wait on that one. So hopefully they still have a spot. So I'm pushing for that one too. So, but yeah, I'm not filthy rich like everyone thinks. So I'm just filthy. So
you're a starving artist. Just on the starving part.
So starving artist, actually, yeah. So that's right. I'm so starving I can't afford Mountain Dew anymore. I have to drink mud water. So it's not pee like it looks like.
What's the generic Mountain Dew? Is it called?
Mountain Lightning or something.
Something like that. It's like
Dr. K.
I can't afford Mountain Dew. I've got to drink the knockoff.
Yeah, actually, I quit drinking Mountain Dew in December. I love Mountain Dew. I lived off Mountain Dew, and I went to the doctor in November, and I was happy that doctor says, "Oh, you're 223 pounds." I'm like, awesome, because I was 238. But then I thought, I'm getting new teeth. These are not real, actually. I didn't know if you guys know. I don't know if they look fake, but and so I got all my teeth out in December, and I thought, well, I might as well lose weight while I'm at it, and I stopped drinking Mountain Dew, and now I'm down to like 188. So, hey, something's working. So, but yeah.
And I noticed you look like you've lost some weight, man. You're looking good.
Yeah, and then I thought the new hair too, so. Because I shaved my head for years, and that's how a lot of people knew me. So people don't recognize me now, but I shaved my head because I have dry scalp, that's why I'm scratching. But the chicks dig the hair, so okay, keep them happy. I can't draw them, but I got to try to keep them happy. But yeah. So this show in Salem,
right?
Is that the Powerhouse?
No. So tell us
for a lead-in for you guys.
So tell us about this the show that you're going to be doing out in Salem with like every or not every, but with like a crowd.
I wish we had everyone.
I know, right? But you guys are gonna have like a whole crap ton of artists from Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about this show coming up in Salem. Salem, Oregon, the Salem, Oregon Fairgrounds, June 3rd and 4th. It's going to be a smorgasbord of trashiness. Yes, we have what we've planned is Trash Alley. And Trash Alley consists of at least 5, maybe 6 Garbage Pail Kids sketch artists all together in one place. We're going to have myself, Chad Shears, James Cox, Shane Garvey's coming in from some backwater state, Midwest, and I know there's another one. Jeff Cox, maybe Barry Nigma. I'm hoping from Missouri. I think that's Missouri. And gosh, who am I forgetting? I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Anyway, we're gonna have a bunch of us. We're gonna have our own special sections called Trash Alley. We're gonna draw people's Garbage Pail Kids. I think we're getting like blank sketch cards made up so we can draw on those. And the big cool thing is we're gonna have a quick draw competition. And what this consists of is it's going to be all of us on stage, and we're going to have the audience. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of people in the audience because we are going to take audience suggestions for a name and a noun, and then we're going to have 3 minutes to create a Garbage Pail Kid using the audience suggestions. And at the end of that whole thing, we're raffling off all the pictures that we draw to the audience members. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. And also we're going to have a panel on Sunday, I believe. The quick draws on Saturday, panels on Sunday. We'd have you guys moderated again, but we're going to have Sean Cruz, who does the We Broke the Multiverse podcast, and also who did Garbage Pail Kids for a short time drawing. So he's gonna be moderating that one. So.
Nice.
But,
Yeah, we're not offended. It's fine. It's all right.
but because you guys are gonna be at that show, right?
We're trying to like essentially trying to make our way up there.
Okay, because if you do, I'd love to have you moderate the quick draw.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Otherwise, it's up to me to do my best game show host. Acting. So it's like, yeah. So, yep. And people that don't get a Garbage Pail Kids will take home one of our home games. No.
One of our nifty home games.
Our nifty home games and a case of Turtle Wax car polish. So,
courtesy of Turtle Wax.
Rice-A-Roni, San Francisco.
The San Francisco treat.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm so looking forward to that show. It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna have some great guests there too. Randy Emberlin, who co-created Carnage, and
nice.
Who else they got? They got the Zombie Cage Fighter, Nate Quarry, Yuki Sakai, who does that comic that I can remember the name of, and they got some other ones. I should know because I did all the graphics for the show. But Star Wars 501st is going to be there. Z Fighters Worldwide is going to be there. We're going to have the Nintendo car. Oh, and just announced the Supernatural car is going to be there. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. So again, that's June 3rd and 4th, Oregon State Fairgrounds. The link is mvcae.com for tickets. So
try that again here. So that was
MVCAE, Mid Valley Comic Art Expo, .com. So yeah. Yes, Mid Valley Comic Art Expo. Awesome. No, MV. V.
Ah.
MVC. They're going to end up at the Milton Bradley Comic Art Expo.
I mean, isn't that where everybody wants to go anyways? Just watch everything Milton Bradley.
That's right. Yep. The game of life.
The game of life.
Yeah, the Zombie Cage Fighter is autobiographical, and Nate's an awesome guy too. So he's really cool. But yeah, going to be about 60 artists in Artist Alley, and about 40 vendors, I think.
Oh wow!
So it's grown from last year. Last year was his first year show. Everybody did awesome, and so this year they decided to extend it to 2 days. And actually, my roadie Steve is the man in charge. So he's the one putting it all together, which is awesome. So
okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Steve was awesome, dude, man.
He is. He's a good guy. So, but yeah, so that's the show I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, just to have all the Garbage Pail Kids artists there, because I was at the Gross Con 2 years ago. Wait, it was when we shut down Vegas because of COVID, and that was a lot of fun because there I got to meet some of the big guns. You know, I mean, it was Pat Chamong and David Acevedo and Michael Bernard and Mark Pingator, and they had all them together, you know, as Garbage Pail Kid guys, and it was a lot of fun. So hopefully, you know, we can kind of duplicate that on a smaller scale. But yeah, so
that is awesome, man.
James went away. Well, he was going to ask is where can we find you and where can we find a little more about you? Do you have pluggables?
Right, find me right here in the art dungeon. Yes.
Sorry about that. I went to go swipe back over to my screen and I ended up swiping out of the screen. Like, oh, okay.
Yes, he's about to give us his pluggables here. I can tell you. Yeah, don't worry.
So James wants to know, do I know any horror shows?
He's asking for me because I live in the Midwest.
Is your name Floyd too?
But he's
he's saying like he's asking so
yeah.
horror shows are
yeah. The only ones I know of is Crypticon up in Seattle, which I went to 1 year, and it was awesome. I didn't even have a table there, and I made like $125.
Nice.
Yeah. And how? Oh, is he asking me or you guys? How far you traveled for con? Probably you guys.
James tends to ask a whole bunch of questions at the end of the interview. He always does this
because he comes in late.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys have you have the traveling down because like Gem State is one of the few furthest places that I've gone. You know, and well, I went to Reno. You know, but traveling on airplane, traveling by car is totally different because I can't take half the stuff that I want to take. You know?
Yeah, dude, we drive and it's yeah.
Yeah. And we drove to, you know.
That's just where we're gonna go. Is this? It's yeah. We wouldn't recommend it for just like normal people.
Right. But yeah, so plugs. I have my hopelessly outdated website, www.planetfstudios.com. My store NB shop is gets a lot more business because I don't sell anything on my other one. But and that's planetf.storenv.com. I'm on Facebook, Floydman Sumner. I'm on Instagram as the real Floydman, I believe. And I'm on, well, I haven't been on Twitter since the 2016 election. So
good. So, yeah. It's toxic as hell.
Yeah. I was a prophet. I saw it coming. Yes. I saw a vision of Elon. So
God.
So yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't even checked my Twitter. So I don't know what's going on there.
We're like we've been increasing our presence on Twitter, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of like scary at the same time because our big thing is we try to like do all the nerd stuff without all the toxicity, and it's like when you try to expand on Twitter,
Oh yeah,
you're basically inviting all the toxicity in.
right. And it's like they're so sensitive sometimes, and I won't use the term snowflake because when somebody calls me a snowflake, I'm like, yes, I am unique and one of a kind. So thank you. But
The term snowflake always cracks me up because the people who use it the most tend to be the ones who are the most offended.
yep, exactly. But we won't go into politics.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's not a good thing. It's a terrible thing. But gosh, now what was I going to say? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
no, you're fine. I was just saying something stupid and facetious. That's okay.
Well, so was I, but it's that time of the show where we just babble inconsistently. Yeah. But yeah, you got my links and stuff, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and I'm not on TikTok or Snapchat. I just don't understand any of that internet stuff.
You seem like such a TikTok guy, man.
I should be. I do have a YouTube channel, but I think it's only got like a couple videos on there, and they aren't very good. So, although one of them, I review Mike's Drive-In, and that was a damn good burger. But yeah, I need to focus more on doing like live drawing videos and stuff because I get a lot of people saying, do a live video. I was doing a weekly Facebook live thing, and it was going okay, but then viewership started dropping off, and I think the last one I did, I drew Conan, and apparently people didn't like that, and nobody was watching, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, you kids. So
you might kill it on Twitch, man. You might have to check that out.
yeah, see, it's I mean, you guys got the setup. I mean, you guys know all the technical, ins and outs and stuff, and me, it's like, my webcam and my phone, and I don't even use those right. So yeah.
All good. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start moving into this bracket. We are doing the best MCU bracket as of now. Grave, take it over, man.
Yes. Floyd, you staying with us for the bracket, right?
Yeah, if you have
all right. Absolutely.
We will absolutely have you for this.
Yes.
I'm in for the long run there.
So recap on the 4 we got through last week. Avengers Endgame beat out Hulk. Eternals beat out the Incredible Hulk. Infinity War beat out Black Widow, and Multiverse of Madness beat out Iron Man. So for the next one, we have Iron Man 2 versus Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumania.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania?
In Quantumania.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, so Quantumania is what we're saying. Okay. Against Iron Man 2, like one of the movies that is lauded as one of the worst MCU movies ever made.
Yeah, I thought 3.
Iron Man 3 was the worst one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my boy.
I was not a fan of 3 just because of the way they treated the characters in that. I thought was just terrible.
Well, see, I was a huge Iron Man fan, and my biggest regret, I had to sell my whole Iron Man collection to pay rent, and I had Iron Man Submariner all the way up through 313, and it hurt because I didn't. Oh man!
Please say, "Hey man, have you seen my board?"
Yeah. But see, Whiplash, they didn't do Whiplash right at all. So.
Oh no, they didn't.
I mean, James is throwing in a third random person. Iron Man 3. We're saying Iron Man 2, James. Iron Man 2 versus Ant-Man 3.
Oh, look, James says we should have a Garbage Pail Kid bracket.
I would say for those of you who haven't seen Quantumania, I mean, Quantumania is the better movie between the two.
I would just guess that it is. I mean, not seen it. So.
4 is. What about you, sir?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man? All right.
Unanimous.
We have one vote. Let's not talk about Iron Man 3. So, James, is your pick Iron Man 2 or Quantumania? Those are your two
Iron Man
choices, James.
3. I said Iron Man 3. You're supposed to do Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
It's further down the list there, James. All right, yeah, I think right now we have yes. Yeah. So unless James gets 7 people to vote for Iron Man 2, Ant-Man Quantumania is moving on.
Oh, but Frey Girl changed.
She changed her answer.
So.
Just like afraid to do.
What did she change? Did she go?
She went with Iron Man or Ant-Man.
She first said Iron Man, but maybe she thought I was talking about Iron Man 3 as well, like James. So, all right. Yes. So next up is Avengers: Age of Ultron versus Thor.
The first Thor?
The first Thor.
I'm gonna go with Thor. I liked Age of Ultron, but I felt like Thor was just it was a better movie as far as introducing a character.
I'd say Thor just because again, I'm a purist, and I didn't like the origin of Ultron, the way they did that. So,
Force?
Ultron.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Definitely Age of Ultron, because we did get introduced to a heck of a lot versus
that's true.
Versus, a guy coming to terms with his powers of Thor. So Cam says Thor.
That's the thing is, I felt like that movie in general was better just because of the way they treated the character, right? Like the story was much better in general versus the issues that we had with Age of Ultron in general, because there was a lot wrong with Age of Ultron. There's a lot that was that gave us future implications. We got Ulysses S. Claw, which essentially introduced the concept of Wakanda and vibranium and everything like that. We got the twins, even though they were completely kind of bastardized a little bit. But I mean, there are good things in that movie that we got, but I felt that we got a longer kind of like the long game with Thor out of it.
I was too busy yelling during Age of Ultron, going, "No, Henry Pym created Ultron." So
yeah, but they didn't have Hank Pym yet at the time, and that's why. I know. Yeah,
I mean, but he was around. So
well, he was when they went and redid the story. Yeah, he was around, but at that point they didn't have Hank Pym, so it was kind of like
right.
Well, Fours, I think we are losing this one here. So I think Thor is moving on. So speaking of Thor, then for our next one, we're gonna have a Thor Dark World versus Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, come on. Both of those movies are just
Dark
World had problems. I appreciate Dark World a little more after Endgame. Because they went and kind of made it more relevant.
Right.
But overall, Dark World was still a terrible movie. So, I mean,
was Dark World the one with the... Wait. So
the Dark Elves?
Okay, so name all the Thor movies.
Thor the Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, and Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay. It was Ragnarok that I was thinking of. That was the one.
Yeah.
Ragnarok, they meshed so many storylines together in that. You got Planet Hulk out of that one.
But it was fun.
It was. Oh, it was the first time we got a full-on Jack Kirby out of any of the properties.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna be confusing James here again.
What movie are we talking about?
So yes,
Ant-Man.
We're talking about The Rock, right? That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about The Rock.
Yes. He's already been summoned.
The Ant-Man and the Rock, right?
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Rock. So,
I'm gonna go with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Just
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
stir the pot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a
So
better one.
I didn't finish my thought, and it's just because I went off on a rant. So I appreciate Thor: The Dark World more. I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp was a better movie overall between the two, even though it was kind of a forgettable movie. But so was Dark World. Dark World was a completely forgettable movie. So
Yeah.
I would go with Ant-Man and the Wasp on this one.
Mr. Forrest.
James is going with Ragnarok, guys.
That's our James.
Well, no, James is going with whatever movie that The Rock was in,
Correct.
which is none of them. But I mean, still.
And Say Wong in the chat says Thor Ragnarok, but see, James, you're messing up the vote. We're not talking Ragnarok. Thor: Dark World and Ant-Man and the Wasp. There, Say Wong. Don't listen to James.
He does, guys. You just have to stay focused.
He didn't have his dubby.
It was Thor and the Wasp in Ragnarok.
The point of what James does, he's really trying to throw you off. So it's like you got to pay attention to that.
Force.
Ant-Man.
Yep. I don't think anyone's saying Thor 2 is going to win this.
I don't think anybody is saying Thor: The Dark World was a good movie at all.
when I rewatch this, I go, oh, I have to watch this again, don't I? Oh crap! Just like you do with the Incredible Hulk.
Which one? Oh, the Incredible.
Yeah.
Not the Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
No. That was on our Marvel Misfits list, and we did worse movies for that one.
Okay.
All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp definitely takes this one. So next one is Spider-Man: Homecoming versus Winter Soldier.
I'm saying Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Hard call, because Spider-Man: Homecoming was a really good movie, but Winter Soldier just kind of changed the entire game in the MCU. Like the modern MCU, everything we have as far as like the espionage stuff, all came from that movie. Like literally, they stepped up the violence in Winter Soldier. Remember the opening scene of Winter Soldier? He jumps onto that ship and he pins a dude's hand to a wall with a knife. And some of the fight scenes were just completely ridiculous in Winter Soldier. So I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like Winter Soldier.
Yes, 89 Batman.
As 89 Batman wins. As much as I love Spider-Man: Homecoming, because it's a great movie and it's a great introduction to, well, I guess technically Civil War was the introduction to Spider-Man, but like it's a good first outing. Oh, but you know what? Okay, this is where I start having my mixed feelings on this. Vulture was probably one of the best villains of any movie, and the reveal when Peter finds out that his date's dad is the Vulture,
right?
That moment is like a seminal movie, like just kind of moment. This is a hard one. Come back to me.
All right, Forrest. Since apparently James thinks I have wild tangents.
No, Phil has wild tangents.
Oh, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Oh, I knew this was going to be a hard one when I was making this bracket because I love Spider-Man, and let's face it, they made Bucky interesting for once ever. I mean, I'm going Winter Soldier.
I've always liked Bucky in the comics, man. I like just, or at least when he became Winter Soldier. Like I always enjoyed that character and kind of, the way that they kind of like wrote him into the movies and everything. I thought it was great.
So then, Phil, what's your vote?
I think ultimately I got to go with Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I don't see I'm outnumbered. You got shot down on that one.
I was discussing with my co-host for the other show, and he's like, Winter Soldier is going to win it all. I go, probably.
He said Winter Soldiers. He said he's down.
It's going to win it all. Yeah.
Oh, well, win it all. I don't know if it'll win it all, but I mean, like,
Mm,
it'll go far though.
All right.
it
Well,
wasn't
then,
fun enough for me.
yeah. All right,
It was like
then.
a James Bond movie.
Now we're finally to James's movie, Thor Ragnarok.
The Rock.
Yes, Thor Ragnarok.
Ah, I see what you did there.
And Spider-Man Far From Home.
Ooh.
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yep.
Again, that's a hard one for me because it's like Far From Home was really good. Again, you get a really good kind of like view into how Peter kind of like handles himself and like himself in hard situations. Plus the whole storyline with Mysterio. I think they did a really good job with Mysterio. But Thor Ragnarok, man. Again, Thor Ragnarok changed the game. Technically, Guardians of the Galaxy changed the game, but I mean, Thor Ragnarok kind of jumped on that and expanded, and we got more silly Jack Kirby. We got more of the Thor that we kind of expected out of the comics versus like the really serious kind of like, you know.
Well, Thor Ragnarok was everything that a DC movie isn't. So.
Ah, yes. Correct, sir.
Yes. But you know, James apparently went all Nicolas Cage on it. Buck. His real name is James, as in James Bond. Sean Connery was my favorite Bond, but great with The Rock with Nick Cage. My vote is for The Rock. Thanks, Nick Cage.
Yeah, he just really went just like lines on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Silver Pepe.
Silver Pepe.
Did you guys do Ghost Rider yet?
That was yes, but that was in the that was the other stuff because this only MCU movies. So Ghost Rider was not part of it.
Yeah, the whole.
Yeah,
got it.
So Force,
Yes.
what's yours?
Didn't I already?
Oh, did you?
Yes.
You said Far From Home. All right.
I was gonna say I was the first answer.
Okay. I'm going Far From Home.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Do we get you, Floyd?
I'm going Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
I had a lot of fun at that movie. So.
Yeah,
What do you
I
feel?
agree. I think I'm going Ragnarok. Just
Ragnarok.
because, you know, again, we got a lot of setup for the future of the MCU there. I mean, we kind of did with Spider-Man too, but I feel like we got more of it out of Ragnarok.
Well,
And-
that puts us at 4-4.
And
So
plus, the version of the Hulk we got was fucking masterful.
Yes.
yes. Well, we need a tiebreaker. Anyone have someone close by? Or do you have a boy you can yell at? See what for a tiebreaker?
Nah, he's crashed out.
He's crashed out. Okay.
We need a tiebreaker.
Oh, LeJack?
Movie. Thor Ragnarok versus Spider-Man No Way Home. Far From Home.
Yes.
Jackie said Ragnarok with no hesitation.
All right.
So at the end of that bracket, I unfortunately do have to hop. I have to prep that for the next show, and I got to set everything up. So I got to jump, y'all.
No worries, man. So then, guys, let's Forrest give the pluggables, let everybody know where you're going and where to hang out.
Okay, so really quick. I am a sound font maker on saberfont.com. That's where you put sound fonts on these bad boys. I suggest you go to kybercave.com to pick these up. You can find me here at Distance Nerding on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find me on Kyber Cave Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, now Saturdays. I'm freaking everywhere. And then right after the build is over at Kyber Cave, we are starting Kyber Cave Gaming Thursday Night Live. That would be my baby. Co-hosted by Graveyard and Mrs. Fours will be joining. That would be Aubrey. And we're just going to have a really great freaking time playing Life is Strange Before the Storm Chapter 2. So if you want, join us there. If not, May the fours be with you, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Kyber Cave After Dark.
God, I still
On
hate
Friday.
that you have your own tagline.
And Floyd, really, really nice to meet you. And the
Yes.
artwork is killer, sir. Like,
Thank you, sir.
freaking great.
Thanks. No,
All right,
it's
see you in a
great
bit
seeing
there,
you, too.
Force.
Yeah.
All right, see you all in a little bit.
All right. So this is gonna be a hard one here. You guys ready for this one?
Yes, sir.
James is waiting for this one too. Iron Man 3
Oh God.
versus Shang-Chi.
Oh, hands
Hmm.
down.
Gosh, I don't know. They're both so bad.
Shang-Chi, hands down, wins that. That is easily the
That should not even be said. You know? It's just a given. So.
Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you want, Iron Man 3 so we can shame you.
We don't know
There,
but
we got an Iron Man 3.
Say Wong. Yep, I knew it. Say Wong.
Yep.
Wow.
Say Wong, do we need to shame Say Wong? Because I mean, he's already shamed being Say Wong.
China says Iron Man 3.
I mean, we're playing, the Mandarin versus the actual Mandarin.
Yeah.
It's funny that they're both two movies where the Mandarin.
I was so disappointed because being an Iron Man fan, it's like, yeah, the Mandarin, and then it's like they did what now?
Yeah, that was the majority of the reason why I hated that movie.
Yeah,
was the way that they treated the Mandarin, because I am a giant Mandarin fan. And I get it. You're gonna need to change it so that way it makes more sense for the modern world to do a character like the Mandarin, because the Mandarin kind of was.
That's like his main arch enemy,
Yes.
So.
Right, and that was the whole thing. Is like I felt like they did not do justice to that character. Like
Right.
it felt like racism aside on the character itself, like you can rewrite the character in a way where it would be good. I was hoping that the way that they rewrote that character, that he was gonna they were just gonna kind of do what they did with Iron Man, and it's like, okay, we're gonna in the Middle East is where everything's happening right now, so we can make a Middle Eastern version of the Mandarin, come up with a new name or reason why his name is the Mandarin. But like, I mean, the perceived version of the Mandarin that we had before we found out that he was just an actor was completely terrifying, and it was like, this is what I want the Mandarin to be if you're going to update the character.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I never would have thought that, they'd have Gandhi playing him. So.
Yeah. But then you find out that it's a joke the entire time. And it's like, you ruined my love for this character. Not from that, my love for the live action version of this character. Right. And then on top of that, they took a B-list, not even like a D-list villain. And then decided, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take the extremist concept and apply that to him, which was stupid because the extremist armor is like one of the best armors that's in Marvel. They still ended up using the extremist armor, but they didn't name it extremist armor because they ruined it in Iron Man 3. And then they said that he was supposed to be a combination of that and Fing Fang Foom. And I'm like, are you serious? You guys are ruining Fing Fang Foom for me?
Yeah.
That's what I liked about Ragnarok, is they established that space dragons exist. So that means at some point, because they exist within this universe, we are going to get Fing Fang Foom.
Oh yeah, if they would have gotten big CGI Fing Fang Boom, that'd be awesome. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have 2 votes for Iron Man 3. It's James and
Who
Say
voted
Wong.
for Iron Man 3.
James and Say Wong. Maybe James.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe James.
You need to rewatch it. I don't know.
And what makes this even more kind of like somewhat offensive is you guys are voting against Shang-Chi. as much as James like praised that movie, you're voting against Shang-Chi. Are you voting for it because I hated it?
I mean, Tater's not even here, so he's not going against Tater even. He's just going with that. So yeah, but
Chinese guy votes for Iron Man 3. So
yes. So
sociopath.
Even with their 2 votes, though, Shang-Chi wins because
Sociopath. That's the only thing that I can. That's the only way that I can describe it. You're a freaking sociopath.
Rumors, lies, he says. All right. Next lineup is Captain Marvel versus the first Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
There's too many plot holes in Captain Marvel for me to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
I was not one of those guys that hated Captain Marvel like everybody else did. You know, I actually thought that it was decent, but there were a lot of plot holes in it. I definitely would go with the first Ant-Man because just it's funny. I felt like aside from him being like him not being an alcoholic sociopath, we had a decent version of Hank Pym.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the toy scene. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean overall I'm gonna go with Ant-Man on this.
Yeah, I actually saw Captain Marvel twice in theater.
So did I.
Yeah. This before my oldest daughter got into the MCU. So now I see these movies twice regardless. I see them with Salem, and I see them with my daughter as well because she's caught up to all this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm going Ant-Man. I'm in big hopes that Secret Invasion will tie up some of these plot holes and loose ends that you may have, young Phil.
Yeah.
So that's my hope.
Well, some of the stuff that we got in there was like the entire storyline behind what's his name? Jude Law's character.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of plot holes in that entire storyline, and it's like you guys could have done this so much better.
I mean,
like there were certain things that I did like. Like I thought it made sense to gender bend Marvel. I was okay with that. I had no problem with that at all. You know, just because there's no reason that you have to make Marvel a male character,
right?
You know.
Yeah. But Ant-Man has this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. This may be a difficult one, especially for those who haven't seen it. Wakanda Forever versus the first Avengers.
That is tough.
That's a tough one because I have mixed feelings. Wakanda Forever. There's the movie's long. There's a lot of stuff that they could have left out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the first appearance of Namor was fucking epic. And I was okay with all of that. I mean, given that I'm of Hispanic descent, I'm kind of it's a big deal for me, and I felt like it made sense aside from the obviously his name doesn't make sense anymore, but the way that they kind of told the story behind it, I like that twist.
See, I never considered him Hispanic in years and years and years of reading Namor.
He wasn't, and that's the whole thing. He was technically he was Roman. That's why. So I said his name doesn't make sense because Namor is Roman backwards. But I liked the bend on it and the way they told the story. I felt I felt kind of created a new version of that character. That I mean, it was essentially like when you create a new backstory for a character in the comics, and you get this new version, they did that with that amount of care, and I felt like that was you also got the essence of the character out of him. Like he's very headstrong, he's very for his people, but at the same time, like he's not necessarily a villain, but he's not a good guy either.
Right.
And
that's what Namor's all about.
Right. They did a really good job of getting the essence of Namor in the movie. Even though they changed a lot about his backstory, and I enjoyed the twist and the way that they did the story on him, because you still got everything you wanted from Namor, being that he was the first mutant in the MCU, because they said that he was in fact a mutant,
right?
Versus the Avengers, the first time we're seeing everybody together, right? You have some pretty epic scenes in there.
Yes.
I
this
I just wish Namor would have been clean shaven. I don't know. That was bugging me the whole movie.
So then Floyd and Phil, what are your votes for?
well,
Avengers.
Avengers? All right.
that's what I was gonna say. The only thing about the Avengers that kind of got on me, and this was something that was like at the very beginning, is they chose the Chitauri as the main villains in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, okay, and I get it. It was the long haul on that was they were using minor villains from the comics in order to kind of make it the entryway for Thanos.
Right.
Yeah, but Loki was so good in that.
Loki was really good in there, and I give that. I mean, he was a really good villain. There's to this day one of my favorite MCU scenes is Banner slamming the hell out of Loki.
Right.
My God.
Right.
Yeah, he felt very Vegeta in that scene. Right? I will not lose to a low class wretch.
So, Phil, then what are you going Avengers or are you going
I think I got to stick with the classic and go with the Avengers.
Yeah. I'm also going with Avengers. As much as I like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, it did seem long to me.
Yeah.
It for some reason, I don't know, it's just because I was overly tired that week when I was watching it or what, but I think if we had a different sequel that we would have had to Black Panther if Chadwick hadn't died, had we gotten Doom in this or Aurora Monroe, which we should have as well.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a better movie. You know, obviously Namor not really a villain per se, but you know, just
an antagonist.
Two leaders of different people going at it, you know.
Right, because they said that not much changed as far as like the way that the story was run overall.
Yeah,
because the story was always going to be a story of loss.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They said that before it was going to be like lost time, and then because Chadwick passed away, they changed it to like the loss of Black Panther.
Yeah,
so it's like it's kind of a decent pivot the way that they did it, but at the same time, we're in not having T'Challa, we're not going to get storylines that everybody wants, or we may, because spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen a movie that's like 6 months old. His son is T'Challa Jr., right? So that we may still be able to see T'Challa get married to Aurora, right? And get that whole storyline and get kind of like more of those Black Panther storylines that we, I did kind of miss that they didn't put the Doom storyline in there. Because the Doom storyline is kind of the linchpin of that entire story.
Yep.
And they said originally that was supposed to be in there, so I don't.
That's true. Prey Girl says Wakanda Forever is the Aquaman movie we need.
Kind of was.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, James. We should have told you to throw off your headphones.
Yep.
All right. Well, Avengers has it.
Spoilers for a movie that I know he's seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, we're coming up on that time here, young.
Are we coming up on the time right now?
Yep.
Let me see. Oh yeah, we got about 4 minutes left. Okay. So, with all that being said, this is what we'll do here. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger before we do pluggables. I'm going to show everybody what I've got on the DeLorean so far. So the side of the car profile is pretty much set right there. We've got the thrusters on the back right there. A couple of different pieces that are in here now. It's kind of what I'm working on is the other side right here. You see you have like the kind of like little NOS tanks on the side right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
All that kind of stuff right there. There is a button here now that activates the light inside the car. So if it's upside down. I'll go right here. So you can see the flux capacitor in the back right there.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's coming along. It's definitely more of the DeLorean than it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hold on. Do the voice again. There you go.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Well, you should back up. There's not enough roads.
Thanks, Morty.
Gotta do it. I did that on purpose, right?
Yeah.
In the Morty voice, right?
Yep.
Hey, you should back up, Doc. There's not enough road. There's not enough roads to get to 88.
Yeah. I don't have the brakes put on yet.
Roads, Morty. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah. Nice.
I just need to learn how to talk while burping at the same time.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I can do more of a Rick, but all right, let's turn this off. Let's get into these pluggables. I gotta switch my my camera real quick here. Lego kit or gun? What do you say?
Lego kit or Gunpla style kit? Lego kit there, Say Wong.
All right. Well, that all being said, Floyd, one more time, give everybody your pluggables, man. Let everybody know where you're going to be and all your social media.
Okay. Here's my pluggables. On the first weekend of May, Free Comic Book Day at Radar Toys here in Salem, Oregon. I'll be there with Yuki Sake, and we'll be drawing and handing out prints and stuff, or selling them anyway. We will accept your money. Powerhouse Comic Con is coming up in May. I believe it's May 14th, somewhere around there, middle of May. June 3rd and 4th, don't forget the Mid-Valley Comic Card Expo with Trash Alley. I'll be there with a bunch of my trashy friends, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Rose City Roundup Car Show at the Sheridan in Portland. That's coming up in June. And then Reno Silver Age Con at the Reno Convention Center, I believe. That's the beginning of July. Rustorama again at the Oregon State Fairgrounds, third Saturday in July. Emerald City Shakedown, I hope to be there a week later. And then Halloween Swamp Meet, usually about the first week of September at Oaks Park, and Metal Alert Comic Con down in Grants Pass again in October. And you can find me on Facebook, Floydman Sumner, Instagram, The Real Floydman, and my store NB shop is planetf.storenb.com, where you can find all sorts of goodies and stickers and prints and and don't forget my Rocking Dead trading cards. So yeah, that's what I got. So.
Here we go.
And I always take commissions, and so if you want me to draw you as a Garbage Pail Kid, or you, or whoever is watching, or whatever you want, I'm an art whore. I will draw anything for money. So
I just noticed the Felix cat in the background. Nice.
Yes.
Greg.
And that's the other thing. I just did a Felix the Cat set for Fifinity.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Love it. Graveyard. Small pluggables, and let everybody know where you're going to be here in the next 10 minutes.
Yes. So I'm Graveyard, co-host the Mostly Pod Out at Night, Mostly podcast. New releases every Wednesday. Stay tuned for Evil Dead month, because why not? And top of that, you can find me 4 days a week over at Kyber K Productions YouTube channel. Make sure to go over there and check us out. And you can find my podcast, Pod Out at Night, anywhere on the social media. And you'll find me here on Thursdays on the Build and Making Brackets, and harassing Phil on Mondays.
Absolutely. When I'm playing video games.
Yes.
There you go. And of course, everyone knows.
They mostly
Pod.
at night. Mostly.
Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm your boy, Young Phil of the Distance Nerding Podcast. Of course, I got to do this because James is going to get upset and he's going to be like, how come you don't talk about our stuff? Ladies and gentlemen, so that everybody knows, because James just has to let everybody know, even though he's not here on the show, he got an invite, but he says he didn't get an invite. So there's that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got merch. If you guys are interested in some distance nerding merch, all you got to do is DM us. Let us know what kind of merch you're interested in. We've got shirts. We've got hats. Hats are $35 per hat or $30 a hat if you're interested in that. You see Graveyard's beautiful, beautiful head with a distance nerding hat right there. Or, of course, the Galaxy Gray, which is the one that we currently have right now. So that's the one that we have in stock right now. Of course, if you're interested in shirts, shirts are $20 if you're local to the Sacramento area, $25 if you got to ship it to you. I've got all the sizes. You just let me know what size you want, and you can get a distance nerding shirt.
Thongs. We want thongs.
Thongs we have. We also have distance nerding cannons. If you guys want a distance nerding brand cannon, so that way you can shoot them or blow the man down, then by all means you can go to distancenerding.com and buy one of those. Of course, we have a brand partnership with our buddies over at Lucharillas. If you guys are interested in some Lucharillas gear, see the Distance Nerdarilla on the screen right now. Head over to lucharillas.com and get in on some of that Lucharilla goodness. They've got bump boxes with our character on it. They have shirts, bottle openers, all kinds of stuff. If you guys are interested, actually, on top of that, I am rocking a Lucharilla shirt right now.
That's awesome.
So there you go, guys. If you guys are interested in Lucharillas, head over to lucharillas.com. Outside of that, you guys know where to find us because obviously you're watching us now. If you're not watching us and this is your first time, well, thank you. We love you. Ladies and gentlemen, our schedule on Mondays from 8 to 12. I'm usually on Twitch playing video games. The games I'm playing right now, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm out there just kind of making spells and, turning kids into frogs and stuff. On Tuesdays is the Download, the show where we talk about news, rumors, reviews, and right now we're doing the breaking down Easter eggs in episodes of The Mandalorian. So check that out, guys, from 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesdays, and of course on Thursdays, the show you're watching right now. How come I don't wear our stuff? Because I'm promoting all of our friends. All right, what you should be doing. On Thursdays, the show you're watching right now. The build where I build Lego on screen. We talk to interesting and fun people like our man Floydman Sumner here, and we do brackets and fun stuff like that. So guys, check us out on all 3 of our days, and then of course anything random that we do, we'll let you know ahead of time. That is it from us, guys. You can follow us at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook Live, Discord, OnlyFans, MySpace, GeoCities, all of those places, all at Distance Nerding. Of course, our OnlyFans is only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Floyd, I did not warn you on the for the dance party, but essentially what the dance party is our theme starts. You just grab something around you and make it dance on screen. Graveyard will give you the example. So here we go. It's time for the dance party.
This party is gonna be cat.
Distance nerding.
Oh, jeez, Uncle Grandpa Rick. Wait, you're not my grandpa. You're just a crazy old scientist. I thought that was slightly whiplash for a second. see everybody on Monday.
Bye.